Well, Volver is a title with full meanings in the movie. I mean, in one hand, one of the more important things for me was, Volver, you know, is just return, to come back, the return. It was that I went back to my roots. And, you know, just to go back to the same places that I was born, that I lived in my first 8 years. I mean, the place where I saw all the times my mother, not in the way like in the movie, but, you know, not physically, but her presence was very strong. And that it was, I mean, the more important return in the movie. But also, I come back to talk about the universe, the female universe. I also come back to work with Carmen Maura, that we didn't work together since, I mean, in the last 18 years. And I also go back again with Penelope, that the last time we went here. It was 7 years ago. And also, you know, the Volver is the title of a very famous tango. I don't know if you know it, by Carlos Gardel, which is, you know, the best tango singer of the history. And the Volver means also the passing of time, and also talks about the coming back of the mother, because he comes from beyond, you say. You know, so there is a lot of meaning with this title, Volver.
For me, since the day I met him when I was 17, we had this amazing connection. Everything, the communication was so easy between us, sometimes even with no words. And it just has gotten better and better every time. So in this movie we spent 6 months together. It was a very intense experience, but beautiful. We understand each other very well. We almost know what the other one is thinking sometimes. And maybe the thing that I found a little different in this shoot is that he was transmitting a feeling of peace to everyone on the set. He was very peaceful and so relaxed, and I mean, I care a lot about him, so I was very happy to see him like that, to see him so happy in a shoot. You know, and also we were in the village close to where he grew up, and I don't know if it had to do with that. But there was something special in this movie, some energy that we all talk about during the shooting. It was very real for us, and we feel it came from him.
You know, the music, I think, is one of the best, for me, it's one of the best elements of narration. I mean, it's not, it depends on the director. I mean, Buñuel, in his latest movie, he didn't use it because he was deaf, and he really didn't use it. I mean, I hate to use music like to make a sequence more nice, more sentimental, on things like that. This is, I hate it. I mean, the music takes part very active of the story. I mean, narrates something, gives information about what is happening, and is full of meaning. Unfortunately, you know, I found a wonderful composer, Alberto Iglesias, that I used to work with him. I mean, we started doing it in The Flower of My Secret, and since then I can't live without him. You know, he makes me a demo, and I said, I don't know why, but I don't like these 2 notes. Boom, boom. And he knows why I don't like that, and he makes something different. So, I mean, I said, really, I'm as lucky as Fellini was with Nino Rota. And perhaps if you want, she can sing something. Are you ready?
It's not gonna happen. I think he wants to sing because he keeps saying that everywhere we go.
I smoke so much that I destroy my voice. I used to sing when I was younger.
No, in this case, I've heard about the story when we were doing All About My Mother, and he told me about it, and he told me about playing the daughter. So then 5 years later, he called me and said, I'm writing and I think you're right for it, but I think now you can play the mother. So I was very excited about that, to finally play a woman, because now I can. So finally, I couldn't wait for that. So I read it, and it was almost like what he showed me was almost the final thing. He adapted a few things to each one of us, the dialogue, but it's really a director where the script, you just follow it. I wouldn't feel good trying to improvise dialogue in a set with Pedro, because it's like every little thing is such a treasure for us, and everything is there for a reason. And we are very aware of all as actresses, with that kind of material, of all those changes of tone that he goes through, and it's amazing how he can do that with such a truth. But we have to forget all of that once we're on the set, because if not, it's overwhelming for us. If not, it's okay, this morning I'm doing comedy, and this afternoon I'm doing drama, and he wants us to forget about all of that intellectually and just go for it and be completely open. And maybe he comes and tells you, now you say, Prada is very good for Nan. Like the line he gave me about my outfits in All About My Mother, he told me 5 minutes before shooting. And I do the scene, doubting, thinking maybe he's joking and laughing at me, but then you do it and realize it's a genius moment for the movie. He always keeps us wondering like that, and that's a great feeling.
You know, when I start writing one script, I don't think like I'm going to be the more original director again and again. And when I'm trying to get excited, there is something very mysterious that dictates you should make this movie. It's just one idea that comes to your head, and you have to develop like you are possessed by that idea. What I'm conscious in this sense is that I never want to repeat the same formula from one movie to another. But of course, I always try to be myself. I can't avoid it in any case. So, I mean, if you see, I mean, Volver is very different from Bad Education. Bad Education is very different from Talk to Her. And at the same time, Talk to Her is very different from All About My Mother, and All About My Mother, from Lifeless. I mean, I'm changing from movie to movies. But in fact, if you see just the 16 movies that I made, todos están relacionados, todos están como encadenados, y todos forman una trayectoria absolutamente casi lógica.
In fact, if you see all the 16 films that I've made, you'll see that they're all...
Coherente, no me salía la palabra.
You'll see that they have a kind of internal coherence, they're kind of a chain in a way, and there's really a kind of trajectory that they form, a kind of logic that they're moving, towards which they're moving.
And you know, you never know if the things that you are doing are new or I want. I mean, I feel that they are new for me, but you couldn't be sure if that movie, that subject, that style is new for the audience. Unfortunately, you can't be sure in advance of that. I don't feel nervous to go back to Los Angeles. I feel fat. I mean, you shouldn't forget that these prizes, I mean, the Oscars are to award the American industry. So, I mean, I was nominated once by Best Director, and also I won the Best Script, but this is something almost miraculous. So, we just wait till January, trying not to think about it. And of course, being on a diet, in my case.
Well, I want to thank everybody on the panel.